Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back. Today, I am looking at this box. It's a pretty interesting box. So this was sent in by Thomas Benefield. I really appreciate it, man. He had sent me a message saying that this has been rolling around in his car for a little while, so it's probably all terrible stuff. But no, I definitely appreciate him. He's one of our patrons on Patreon. So again, goes way above and beyond what I would ever expect out of anybody. But again, thank you very much for sending this in. He said we should have a couple of different things in here, which I may or may not have peeked in. I mean, I did open the box and remove the label, so anyway, just making sure he wasn't, sending in some anthrax or something like that. Do people still do that? Ah, well. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. So we've got some coffee, we've got some hot sauce, we've got some little things. Okay. Yeah, Cliff bars, a couple of their coffee bars. Man, I don't eat bars anymore. I don't find much pleasure in them, but I have in the past done quite a number on some Cliff bars. I don't think we've done any of those on the channel though, but anyway, yeah, some of their coffee bars are pretty tasty. So a vanilla almond latte, and then the espresso bar, a little bit smaller, so that's really cool. And then we have Nature's Bakery fig bar, little blueberry fig bar. I do love like a Fig Newton. I'm a big fan of the Fig Newton, so got a couple of those. We've got some coffee here. Matter of Facts podcast. Prepping Guns and Politics, Dark Humor, a Dark French Roast by Disaster Coffee. This is like a long read out here. Master of Facts podcast, Prepping Guns and Politics, Dark Humor, okay, so. So he did mention that this is one of the podcasts he listened to. I haven't heard of it, so I'll have to put them on here, but have a little whole bean coffee, so a little bit darker French roast. See if I can smell it through the little hole. Little smell hole's not giving me much there, but I'll be interested to try this out on one of our sort of Wednesday shows. But always happy to try new coffees, especially if it's whole bean. Next up, we have some hot sauces here. We have, let's see, Devil's Backbone Vienna Lager hot sauce. Pretty nice thin hot sauce there. Lovers of craft beer and spice. Devil's Backbone Vienna Lager. Okay, so that Devil's Backbone must be a brewery then. Well, it does say brewing company down here, so duh. Okay. So a couple different peppers in there. I'll be interested to try that there. That looks good. It's got some little chunkies in there too. Interesting. All right. So we've got a little south for your mouth. Red clay. Okay. Does it actually have clay in it? Fresno chili peppers, white wine vinegar, filtered water, kosher salt, xanthan gum. So no. So, okay. So some Fresno chili peppers. Yeah, again, very thin sauce. Very interesting. I'll be interested to try this as well. Very nice, simple packaging too, which I personally appreciate. Huh. But what does it have to do with red clay? Is it just the color? Yeah, okay. Well, I'll be down to try that. Let's see. We've got some key lime sweet hot honey. I did an episode where I did, what was it? Was it Mike's Hot Honey? It was one of those hot honeys, and I kind of came across that through pizza, because there are a couple of like pizza companies that'll drizzle, hot honey. So it's just a little bit of like chili, whatever in there. So a little bit more hot, duh, little heat to the honey. But I mean, key lime sweet hot honey. So that sounds pretty good. I wonder what it is. Georgia grown. Very cool. Does it have an ingredients list on it? Oh, okay, here we go. That's a little bit difficult to see, but honey, Datel pepper. I've never heard of that. Vinegar, chili peppers, natural key lime flavor. I'll be interested to try that. If that's good, that would be really nice. So from Peak, we have the old Chad Mendez meal. It's like when I saw these pop up, because I do have like an email reminder from Peak. When I saw them come up, ooh, the Chad Mendez meal, I kind of felt like, you know, like McDonald's. Yeah, it's the BTS meal or the, you know, Travis Scott meal. It's like, what are we doing? I didn't know Chad Mendez was really the hunter. If I remember correctly, wasn't Chad Mendez in the UFC? So anyway, I did look at these and I didn't buy them. I think there were 3. So this is the Venison Country Casserole with ground deer. So some venison. And I think that there might have been like some boar and bison. I'm not quite sure about what the rest of it was. And then finally, we have Mountain House Yellow Curry. I don't know if I've done this one on the channel, but I'm happy to do it. Obviously, Mountain House is usually pretty good. So just for the sake of this video, and I know this will be a little bit longer, we are actually going to try out this Peak meal because I figure, hey, why not? So here we go. The Peak Refuel Venison Country Casserole. So we've got the venison in a creamy sauce with rice and vegetables. Here are the nutritional facts for those of you who are interested. Look at that, 920 calories. That's wild. That's a lot of calories there. Yeah, sodium's obviously out of control, but that normally is. Ingredients list, if you're interested in that. So we've got some onion, green beans, a lot of different stuff in there, a lot of powders, a lot of spices. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what it's housing inside. Take that out. Look at that. Look at these big old chunks here. Dang, very cool. It smells good. Smells good. There's a lot of rice in there, boys. There's a lot of rice. I guess I didn't talk about the, what do they have for prep instructions? They're looking for 8 ounces of boiling water. As always, even though I know it annoys a few people by now, I just do this by sight. So I know there are some people who really, really want me to go by the instructions, but I kind of do what I want. I'm just basically looking for the consistency before I seal it up to look about like what I would like it to see when it's done. And then just a little bit more liquidy than that, because, you know, things like rice, pasta, beans will take up quite a bit of water. So we want to make sure that we're not getting too thick, not too thin, and that is just something you learn over time. I also had somebody complain that I was stirring too much at one point, but I'm really just trying to get down in the bottom here and get everything broken up. So actually, I'll tell you what, that is not far off what I would like it to look like when I have it done. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water just to thin it out a bit, and we should get this tightened up as it sits for, you know, approximately 10 minutes, sometimes 10 to 15. That looks great right there. I'm looking forward to this. Again, big thank you to Thomas. Let's go ahead and seal this up, and then we'll put it on the tray. All right, we're back with our casserole here. Everything is tightened up pretty nicely there. Oh yeah, yeah, buddy. Whew, that is a lot of rice. It's also very gray. It's very gray. All right, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Yeah, I could have watered it down a little bit more. It's not too bad though. Let me get this little carrot. I want that little carrot. All right. Ooh, wow. That's pretty tasty. That is pretty darn tasty. Dang. I'm actually very impressed by this. Get in here a little bit more. I'm also kind of hungry at this point of the day. All right, let's run through this. 1, rice is fine. It is a little bit mush. That happens. No problem there. It's the same rice we get in every meal. The creamy sauce is nice and creamy. There's kind of like a buttery edge to it, and a little bit of a there's a little bit of a sweetness at the end as it kind of finishes, but it tastes a lot lighter than what I thought it would. And there's a bit of a richness in there too. That's really nice. It just hits the tongue. It's very savory, but not like crazy weighty. I would, however, say that if you gave this to probably anybody and didn't tell them it was venison, I think that most people just think it's ground beef. So, with that said, I think the uniqueness is that it's venison, right? If you just gave this to anybody, be like, oh yeah, that's a really good like ground beef and rice. Cool. But there's no gaminess in there. I mean, I eat venison. It doesn't give off those particular notes. There's a green bean. It doesn't really taste them much, to be honest, but this is nice. It's hearty, but it's not like crazy heavy. It's nice and creamy. It's a little buttery. It's got a good, meaty taste to it without being too gamey. Sometimes, and it's really in the aging of the deer, right? If you don't properly age it, hang it and age it. Same thing with ground beef. You got to age it. If you don't age it, you're gonna get a lot of that gaminess out of that. But I mean, there's some deer that even aging doesn't necessarily help. Let me get another bite here. But yeah, overall, it's really good. Kind of reminiscent of like a stroganoff with rice instead of pasta. I don't feel the need to complain about this at all. I think a little hot sauce would work pretty well with this. It's not necessarily needed. I'd probably crack a little bit of pepper on it, but almost would like more vegetables. I mean, I know that we're just meat eaters unite, but I could use a couple more of those carrots and maybe some more of those green beans. That'd make me happy. Or some peas. That'd be nice. But yeah, overall, this is solid. I had kind of some higher hopes for it too, and it delivered. So if you do want to check this out, I would recommend it. I think it's a hard recommend. And again, big thank you to Thomas for sending this in. You didn't have to do that. I really do appreciate that. And everything else in the box, those will go up in other videos as well. But yeah, this one, big winner. And like I said, I was going to buy them. I didn't. So Thomas got me. That's awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've tried this though, let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'd really love to hear from you. Just get your opinion on it. And continue to drop suggestions for future videos. Love hearing those as well. If you would like to send something in to be reviewed on the channel, the P.O. Box is in the description, as well as the Patreon link if you want to support. Again, big thank you to the patrons. I don't know why you do it, but I appreciate it. I really do. And then don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.